this was probably the first time I actually got really excited about Pageant. And it's again, I examiner, I can explain why plant pathologists are such strange people. But when you do a trial on disease that you hear from growers year after year after year have trouble controlling, they cannot stop it, and that would be an anthracnose disease, especially on camellias. These things are bad enough that they will kill the plants when they're in 5-gallon pots. So they start off as little crummy leaf spots, but they hang around so long that 2 years down the line you're still losing plants from them. So they're big, serious losses. This is what was exciting to me. We got this kind of control on an anthracnose disease. This is a Colletotricum in this case. This is tremendous. This is something we had never seen before in our trials on Colletotricum. So it was very, very exciting. And the interesting thing here was on this particular trial, the insignia didn't do very well. It had a little bit of control. The Pageant is a combination of insignia and the boscalid, so I thought that was interesting. The best part, however, was that we did another trial with the same treatments at the same time. Different pathogen, also anthracnose, in this case Phylosticta. In this case, this rating is a 1 rating is no disease. So a 1 or a 1.1 is fantastic. Look how great insignia did this time. Excellent. Really nice control on this one, where we didn't get very much control on the other one, but the Pageant was the same. Excellent control on both of them. This was very, very exciting because, as I said, there's almost no chemistry that we've found that even gives us any control to speak of on anthracnose diseases, and to find one that works on a broader spectrum than just one pathogen was very good. And we've done a lot more since then with it, now this one being probably the most recent one. This was a trial that we did early this year and had mandibulas that had a little bit of anthracnose to begin with. You see how serious it can be on them. Knocks the leaves off the plant. Certainly a vine with no leaves is not that saleable. So this is a bad problem. We started off with plants that had the disease and then tried to stop it from continuing. So what we rated here was not the original disease, but the new that had developed after these sprays. And this is only 2 sprays on a 10-day interval. It's not very long that this trial was going on. You can see here, let's see, the only thing to really note, I think, here is there's the Pageant. It's held the disease down, looks like about 60–70%. There's Dacano Ultrex, also very, very good, and Trinity. Phyton 27. So we are getting good control. Now this particular Colletotricum is not the same one, or not the same specific one as the one on the camellias that we looked at. So the more trials that we do on anthracnose, the better the picture looks for Pageant in terms of the efficacy. And let's see what this, and here again, it looks like perhaps insignia for Colletotricum isn't a real strong product. So great control on the Phylosticta, not on the camellias, which was Colletotricum, not on this mandibula. So it looks like certainly the boscalid component is very, very important for some of these really tough diseases. You can see I've got nutso on the anthracnose lately. We've been really trying to find a lot of things out, and it's been very, very good. This one happens to be another Colletotricum. Let's see, there's Pageant. It was on a 7-day interval at the 18 ounces. Did a really good job. Pterygoid SC, also really, really good in this trial. And nothing else was all that impressive. Maybe the concert at the 16 ounces on a 14-day interval. It turns out that for Colletotricum diseases, you more or less have to be at a 7-day interval to stop them. On the anthracnose, you're actually better off, on the Phylosticta, you're better off if you're at a longer interval. And that has got to do with loading the plant up with too much chemistry. It does become negative after a while. The speed at which the diseases form is what's affecting that, I think. So we see really good control. Looks like it's pretty consistent on the anthracnose diseases on just about everything we've tried. Got any questions on any of the leaf spots? Or nope. How about rust diseases? The strobilurins as a whole have been really fine rust compounds. Virtually all of them that we've looked at have done a pretty darn good job, with heritage actually usually ending up to be the most effective. So with Pageant, we certainly wanted to see how it would perform compared to the other strobilurins, including, of course, insignia. Heritage, Composo, and Cygnus. So we're comparing all of those, and statistically, really everything in here is the same, except for the low rate. That low rate of insignia wasn't quite as good, but there's 16 ounces, 2 ounces of Heritage, 2 ounces of Composo, and then finally over to the Pageant. Some of these rates, again, they're experimental rates. They weren't, they're not what's on the label. I believe the label is 18 ounces here. Although it says 18, does it top out at 18 for rust stuff? 4 to 18. So at any rate, you can see really good control, again, on a 14-day interval. So it's spreading it out pretty darn good. You don't have to spend a lot of money trying to get the chemicals out there onto the plant too often. We've done a number of other rust trials.